Alright, just gonna go do a quick little overview of the COVID-19 relief bill. I was able to find a better one the other day. Maybe this is the most updated. Oh, this is December 21st. How does that. That's, I think this is the one that I saw. Yeah, this one's a lot cleaner. Alright, let's see the amount of trash that they fill in this bill. Keep in mind, it's a 591 page document. I wonder how many of these congressmen actually read every single page. Not many. Alright, so section 101, 1001. I'll just say 1 because that's pretty much what it means. Food supply chain and agricultural pandemic response, emergency grants for rural health care. Rural. Interesting that they worded it that way. Emergency grants for rural healthcare. Why isn't it just emergency grants for healthcare? Pandemic Program Administrations Fund. Funding for oversight of programs. This is right here. Here's immediately a red flag. Farm loan assistance for socially disadvantaged farmers and ranchers. That's a little gem that they fit in there. So that's loan forgiveness for if you've been a socially disadvantaged farmer or rancher. And who determines what socially disadvantaged means? Obviously, they're implying. I'm not even going to say it, but we understand what that means. It doesn't matter if you are a rich Hispanic or black man farmer. Your loans are forgiven, but the poor white farmer, he still has to pay all his loans, no matter how much COVID affected him. Hmm. Interesting. That's a little piece of that's a little gem that they fit in there. This is what happens when you can put together a 500 plus page bill. The amount of garbage that they're able to fit in it. Well, how much overall spending was the COVID-19 relief bill? 1.9 trillion, I think. I'm gonna. Yeah, 1.2. So basically 2 trillion. May as well be. Let's look at real quick how some different, how people are wording or showing who gets the money. There's these bubbles that I wanted to show. Details. I think that's how I found it. All right. So let's see how. All right. So this is how NPR breaks it down. They show how the biggest bubble is individuals with 560 billion. That's the stimulus check, I believe, is what they're saying all of that is. But I wonder uh, huh. I think it's just the stimulus checks that they have for individuals. And then for public health, they put it in all these bubbles that are smaller than the biggest one to imply that most of the money is going to individuals, but in reality, all of these bubbles should be one big bubble. over how much would it be? Let's do the little quick math or with the calculator. I don't know. I don't want to type that many zeros. So 1.9 trillion minus 5, 1.4. So about 1.4 trillion dollars of the 1.9 trillion doesn't even go to Americans, to in how would you put it? Individuals. Isn't that kind of funny? You didn't let people work for months, and oh, I don't get it. Not to mention that the fact that they're printing money that they don't have. There's a I think it was Tim Pool that said it. It's about it's 3 to 1 about. So if we get a stimulus the stimulus check, you're really paying the government. Let's say it's for $1,000. You're really paying the government $3,000 for that $1,000 that they gave you. Oh, it's a load of crap. And back to so this. Where would this be? I wonder where they would put farm loan assistance for socially disadvantaged farmers and ranchers. Would that be considered a small business? It's kind of funny. These bubbles are don't really show you the whole picture. Nope. And then here's the next one: assistance and support for socially disadvantaged farmers, ranchers, forest land owners, and operators and groups. Well, groups is pretty big. That can mean a lot. I wonder how much money is going there. Funding for Food for Peace Title II grants. I don't know what that is. All right, then number 11, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Oh, so subtitle 2B. So agriculture and nutrition. What is why is this in a COVID-19 relief bill? Why is nutrition like why is agriculture and nutrition? I get it that you can make the argument that these areas were affected by COVID, but why not just have one bill for agriculture, one bill for nutrition, one bill? You can't because you can't fit that much garbage in it. The amount of garbage that is in this bill is ridiculous. Additional assistance for SNAP online purchasing and technology and what? Why are we helping SNAP online? Additional funding for nutrition assistance programs. Commodity. Oh my god, I cannot pronounce words. Supplemental food programs. Like some of this is probably a good thing, but why not just have a bill focused on this specifically? It's not like we could. There's a limit to how many bills we can make. I get because it would be longer and it would take a lot more time. Well, then why didn't you just sign a bill? What they should have just done is if they wanted to do stimulus checks, they should have just had one bill on stimulus checks and then argue about how much it should be, and then that's it. Don't fit your garbage in it. All right, then subtitle A, Education Matters, Part 1, Department of Education. Okay, so Section 2. All right, I sort of understand this. Oh, that's how they do it. And then, so the number 3 will be number 3. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So Title 3 will have 3. Okay. All right. So Education and Labor. Title 2 we're on. Department of Education. So number 1 for Department of Education, elementary and secondary school emergency relief fund. Why would schools need funding if the majority of schools are not in session right now? Why do schools need funding? You're having everyone work from home. Some of these schools aren't even open. Higher Education Emergency Relief Fund. Why would any schools need funding right now? Tell me the school. How are schools losing business because of COVID? I'd love to hear it. Maintenance of effort and maintenance. What? I'd love to see the garbage that's in this section. Maintenance of effort and maintenance of equity. What does that mean? Outlying areas. Oh, these sections don't really give you a lot of information. Outlying areas. I don't know what that means. What the fuck? Oh my god. Here's another gem. Bureau of Indian Education. So we're giving money to Indian education. Is this like, does that mean like Indian Americans or is it? Let's look this up. I don't even know. Why? I don't understand why this is like a thing. Okay, we're not giving money to India. At least that's the, I guess. Bureau of Indian Education. Oh, so it's on the Indians, not India. I'm an idiot. What a load of crap that is. Specifically, this university. What is this university? For the education. Oh, I can't speak really. It's the education of deaf and hard hearing. That's kind of sad. I can get behind that one instead of some of the other garbage. Student aid. Well, it still doesn't. Why are there specific universities that have sections? Why isn't it just all the That doesn't make sense to me. I I get that it's sort of just why not have a separate bill on funding towards these universities? And why is it in a COVID-19 relief bill? Why is it fit? It's just a load of crap. National Technical Institute for the Deaf. Institute of Education Sciences. Program Administrations. Office of Inspector General. Modifications of revenue requirements for proper institutions of higher education. Miscellaneous. That's nice. National Endowment for the Arts. National Endowment for the Humanities. Institute of Museum and Library Services. COVID-19 response resource preservations of main of what the heck garbage is this? Just put COVID-19 in there and you can get away with murder. Response resources for the preservation and maintenance of Native American languages. Seriously? Wow. This isn't a COVID-19 relief bill, keep in mind. Subtitle B, Labor Matters, Section 2101, raising the federal minimum. Oh my God, they put this garbage in here. Raising the federal minimum wage. 15. We just got off a pandemic. Oh my God, there's no way you can be a small business nowadays. They just want you to go out of business. It's not gonna happen. They just got done with a pandemic, and now you're gonna force them to have the $15 minimum wage. Oh, you absolutely have no idea what you're doing. Large business or big businesses have no problem with that. McDonald's, they welcome it. Small family burger shop. Oh, you're putting them out of business. But okay, that's very smart. Less people. We have a unemployment problem right now, and they're gonna raise the minimum wage. That's the brilliance is incredible. Funding for the Department of Labor Worker Protection Activities. I'd love to see what garbage is in there. Eligibility for workers' compensation benefits for federal employees diagnosed with COVID. Huh. So if you're a federal employee and you got COVID, even though the majority of people had no symptoms, you get a little bit of compensation for getting it. Interesting. Interesting. Compensation pursuant to the Longshore. I don't know what that. I don't know what that act is. Not gonna focus on it. Subtitle C, Human Services and Community Supports. I don't know. Alright, so 2201. Additional funding for Aging and Disability Services Program. Section 2202, Supporting Older Americans and Their Families. Section 2203, Child Care and Development Block Grant Program. Once again, I like some of this stuff is nice and all, but it shouldn't be in a COVID-19 relief bill. It should have its own separate bill. Most of these sections should all have its own bill, so then people can actually look at it. Because how many people are going to actually go through page by page and see what's in these sections? I don't get it. 2204, Child Care Stabilization. 2205, Head Start. I don't know what that is. It's probably a program. 2206, Programs for Survivors. Does that mean survivors of COVID? Why would we need programs? That's weird. Why? 2207, Child Abuse Prevention and Treatment. I don't get why this is in a COVID-19 relief bill. 2208, LI Heap or Leap? Does it just mean leap? I think it just means leap. I've heard that before. Let's look it up. Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program. I understand like some of the. I can understand why some of this is in here. 2209, Department of Health and Human Services. Some more money for that. 2210, Corporation Cooperation for National and Community Service and the National Service Trust. Subtitle D, Child Nutrition and Related Programs. Section 2301, Improvements to WIC Benefits. What does WIC mean? What is the Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for Women Infant. Oh, it means women, infants, and children. I thought I'm not gonna get into that. Um, WIC program moderate. Ooh, I bet that what I was thinking is what that is. WIC program modernization. And then 2303 meals and supplements reimbursement for individuals who have not attained the age of 25. What does that mean? So anyone younger than 25. Pandemic EBT program. I think I know what EBT means, but I'm just gonna look it up. I think it's the EBT card. It's like yeah, I have an idea of what it is. Okay. What the heck is this? Subtitle E Cobra continuation coverage. It's just one section or one section for it. 2401 preserving health benefits for workers. What does Cobra mean? Ugh. Can't get it. It's a health insurance program. I don't know what that is. Title 3 Committee on Energy and Commerce. Subtitle A Public Health. Chapter 1 Vaccines and Therapeutics. So I can understand a lot of this stuff being in the COVID-19 relief bill. Section 3001. I'll just say 3-1. Funding for COVID-19 vaccine activities at Centers of Disease Control and Prevention. I can understand why all this funding is in here, because it kind of makes sense with the COVID-19 relief bill to fund the vaccine. Section 30, I'll just say 3-2. Funding for vaccine confidence activities. I can understand this actually, because there's been a lot of before the election, there was one side that was saying they would not take the vaccine, and we're seeing the results of that. You can look at a country like Israel, and this is how Israel vaccine data. So they were able to Israel how many people vaccinated in Israel? I don't know if these are the most up-to-date numbers. 85% of Israelis 50 and over received at least the first dose of vaccine so far, with the highest insulation rate among the 70 to 90 age group. Oh, I get it. I get what they mean with that. So basically, Israel's plan for vaccination was they told their population, their citizens, that get the vaccine and life can return to normal immediately. You don't have to wear a mask. You can live your life like normal. And meanwhile, in America, we have a doctor saying we might be wearing masks until 2022. And we don't know if you still have to wear a mask after you get the vaccination and stuff. It's just lowering it's exactly doing what this does. It's lowering confidence in the vaccine, which is not what you want to do if you want to promote a vaccine. It's and then on top of it all, there's you have conspiracists. You even Mark Zuckerberg. If you look at Project Veritas, so I can understand why funding for vaccine confidence activities that makes sense because you want people to have confidence in the vaccine. You want people to get the vaccine. Although you could make the argument. I don't know if I should say it, but so the vaccine is really success. It's really good, but so it goes from it's 99% success rate. So if you are in your 20s, the death rate for COVID is 0.003, I believe. And then after you get the vaccine, it goes from 0.003 to 0.001. So it's like there isn't really a I don't know if incentive's the right word to get a vaccination if it doesn't really do anything for you. I get that it's a 0.002 I don't know what the right word is, like increase. All right. But if you're above the age of 80, absolutely. Or well, I don't know what age group you would start arguing that a vaccine is like all right, I'm not going to go down that route. Section 303 funding for supply chain for COVID-19 vaccines, therapeutics, and medical supplies. This all sounds legitimate. COVID, Section 304 funding for COVID-19 vaccine, therapeutics, and device activities at the Food and Drug Administration. Chapter 2 testing, 3011 funding for COVID-19 testing, contact tracing, and mitigation activities. Section 302 funding for SARS, COVID-2, genomic, genomic sequencing in surveillance, funding for global health. Now, I don't know what they fit in this. Funding for global health. Are we giving money to other nations? Well, I know there is some of that in this bill. Section 3014, funding for data modernization and forecasting centers. Okay, I can get behind that. Chapter 3, public health workforce. Section 3021, funding for public health workforce. Section 3022, funding for medical reserves corps. Chapter 4, public health investments. Section 3031, funding for community health centers and community care. Okay, I can understand this. Section 3032, funding for National Health Service Corps. Section 3033, funding for Nurse Corps. Section 3034, funding for teaching health centers that operate graduate medical education. Hmm. Huh. I don't understand why that's in the COVID-19 relief bill though. Section 3035, funding for COVID-19 testing, contact tracing activities in congruent settings. Section 3036, funding for family planning. Huh? Why is that in here? Section 3037. I'd like to see what that means. I'll have to look at that section too. Section 3037, funding for children under the care of the Department of Health and Human Services. Section 3038, funding for Office of Inspector General. What the heck? Why is there their own chat? Why is there a whole chapter for Indian health? What the heck? Section 3041, funding for Indian health. Okay, that's weird. Oh, I thought it was the whole thing. But why are we funding Indian? I don't understand that. Why aren't they a part of? Huh. Do we pay for the Indian reservations? Is that what that is about? I don't know that. I don't know. Chapter 6, Mental Health and Substance Use Disorder. Hmm. Hmm. Mental health has been pretty bad because of COVID. I can sort of get behind this. And so has substance abuse. They've all been sort of not talked about. Suicide rates and everything like that, all way up. I think I'll just, after this, let me see how long it will be. Yeah, I think I'll put this in multiple parts. I think I'll call that part 1 of COVID-19 relief bill. Definitely gonna need some more time to go over it. All right, so that's it for now. I'll start back up at chapter 6, mental health and substance use disorder, and we'll go from there. All right, so that's it. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. See you guys in a little bit.